Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brian from NY Blade EDC, and today I have my favorite knife on the table, and I'm excited to do this one. It's been a while since I've actually even thought about doing it, and now here it is. So obviously this isn't no stranger to the knife world. About 95% of people who are into collecting knives have at least heard of the PM2 or seen one in pictures. So it's no stranger to like 95% of you guys. So it doesn't really need an introduction, but let's get into it. The blade length on the PM2 is 3.44 inches with an overall cutting edge of 3 inches. Typically the production base model gets S30V blade. I just happen to have my favorite variant on the table, the M390 DLT Trading exclusive. So just get that out of the way. So typically that would be an S30V stamp there. The handle is 4.81 inches and an overall length of 8.28 inches. This knife weighs 3.75 ounces, so it's fairly light for the size. I notice in the pocket you don't really feel it much. It sits nice, so you don't have to worry about that being too heavy in the pocket. So let's get into a size comparison. So first off, we have a Spyderco PM2. Next we have a Spyderco PM2. And next we have a Spyderco PM2. I think you guys are getting the gist of it. Next we have a Spyderco PM2. All right, I'm being funny. That's the last of that. So as you guys can see, I love the PM2. It is my favorite knife, and that's why I have 5. I have owned up to 12 of them, so I'm down to 5 because I did an overhaul of my collection. But all right, now into a real size comparison. You got the Chris Reeve Knives Sebenza 21, the large version, which is slightly a smidge longer, not much, but around the same size. And then you got the Benchmade 940, which is just a smidge shorter than the PM2 overall length. So let's get these out of the way. I hope you guys found me as funny as I did with the whole joke, but you're lucky that I don't have all 12 still, because I would have done all 12. I do not care. But all right, so now that that's done, my rating system, and you guys are all gonna know I'm very biased when it comes to this knife, but the size, this is why I love this knife. The size of this knife and the practicality of it is you get a full-size knife. It's fairly light. You get a decent cutting edge. People always say, oh, the cutting edge to handle ratio is all effed up, but I don't really care about that. I just care about getting a full-size handle and a decent cutting length, you know? So manageable cutting length, that's what I like to say. So the size rating on this, I gave it an 18 out of 20, which is the highest I've given on a knife. I believe. I don't have the numbers right here, but I believe 18 is the highest that I have given on a knife. So that's hence why I love this knife, is really the size, you know? It's just, it fits in the pocket well. The blade is the perfect length and cutting edge for me. So it's just gonna score high, you know? That's just how it goes. You like something, it gets a high score. So enough about the size. Ergos, 15 out of 20. This knife is simple, yet my hand fits it, and I have absolutely zero hot spots. I can squeeze it, I can do whatever you want me to do. Choke up, feels just as good. I can sit back with it, kind of like in this position. It just sits well in my hand, and I have no issues with these edges here. So it just feels good. There's no hot spots for me whatsoever. My hand just fits this like a glove, technically. So a 15 out of 20. And then on to fit finish. Spyderco is fairly spotty with that, not shoddy, spotty with their fit and finish. They could be fantastic. Like this one is centered as could be. Everything's nice. The screws are all clean. There's no burrs in them. I have flipped this to tip up carry, not tip down. That's the one thing that bothers me about this knife, is it comes tip down. It should come tip up, because a majority of people carry tip up. It's just a fact. And you get those people that prefer tip down. But fit and finish, like I said, blade is all, the grind is nice, the bevel's even on both sides. So this one happens to be a very, very nice specimen out of all of them. Some of them, I have one here that's a little black sheep, but it's not bad. So fit and finish, 12.5 out of 20. And that's really all I gotta say about that. It's made in USA at Golden, Colorado, so it's a good thing. But now onto the action. So this thing is one of my favorite knives to play with. You could Spidey flick it, you can thumb hole flick it, you can roll it out. It drops shut. You don't even have to fling it like I've been doing. You just let it go. And that's due to the compression lock, which is another reason why I love this knife. It's got the Spyderco compression lock there. So I just love playing with this knife. You know, it's something I could sit there and flick for hours, and keeps me entertained. You know, that's the one thing people with knives don't like to admit, that they really are just fidget toys for a majority of us. And we've turned it into a whole hobby, but with the added tool factor. So action, I gave this a 15 out of 20, and it's just because I love how it opens and you can close it, and the compression lock, you keep your fingers out of the way, so you don't have to worry about it cutting you on the drop. I mean, you can actually thumb it, which is, I've had a PM2 for almost a year now, and it took me about a month ago to realize that you could just do this and then kind of just give it a little flick shut. So 15 out of 20. And now onto the price. So the price on this knife for the S30V, so this plain Jane production model, is $151 and some change. And that's after the 2020 price hike, which I believe it was like $147, so it only went up a few bucks. But even at the $151 price, you're getting a fantastic design. You're not getting the best materials, like S30V and G10 aren't the most fabulous materials. There are knives in that price range that are using titanium or higher grade steel, but you're getting a USA made product, and Spyderco's design on the PM2 is just fantastic in my opinion. So the price could be better. It obviously could be better. So I gave it a price rating of 14.5 out of 20. So when you get into the sprints and exclusives like this, obviously the price will go up. Like the S110V version happens to be my first one. I paid $172 for this one last year. And the upgrade from S30V to the S110, and then you get those blurple scales, you're getting a $20 hike in price. But the steel, I believe, is worth it. So now this one, I don't remember, I think it was $160. So it's only for S30V to M390, it's a $9 difference, which is fantastic in my opinion. So when you add up my scale here, we got 18, 15, 12.5, 13, and 14.5. Get a rating of 75 out of 100. So that is up there with my highest rated knife. I believe I have one that was either higher or just at that. So I think very highly of the PM2, and I suggest, if you have not even handled one, which is probably not the case, you probably all have, but suggest that you guys give it a try, check it out. You don't have to do the same thing I did and go overboard with buying 12 of them, but who knows, maybe you will. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Sub if you have not subscribed. Leave a like, a comment, message me on Instagram at nybladeedc, and I hope to see you guys for the next one. Thanks for watching.